that's just how the red pill space was able to just boom, because the extreme was just so interesting. So, oh man, I knew it. And red pill came in at the perfect timing, where we had an epidemic of men who were lonely, alone, weren't able to get women, etc. The list goes on.
I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack.
Is having a boyfriend embarrassing? Video by Christina Alia. Now, I've seen this girl around the way. It's a crazy topic that she's got going on. So let's just see what her take is. See what she has to say.
Is having a boyfriend embarrassing? I wasn't going to make this video, but this has gone crazy viral. I thought I have to kind of give my 2 pence. This is an unscripted video. I normally have some notes and some structure, but I'm just going to sit and waffle and share what I think about this topic.
Okay.
I've been speaking to some of my friends about this topic, about having a boyfriend is embarrassing, and we're all on the same page that obviously no, it's not. Like, it's not embarrassing to have a boyfriend.
Cool.
However, a boyfriend that forgets small details about you, or doesn't plan dates, or doesn't make an effort when he's meeting your friends and family, doesn't make an effort to make the partnership that you guys have feel special or feel important, that is embarrassing. And what's scary,
You know what? I could agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a guy doesn't really give a fuck about you, well, that kind of shows you what type of guy he is. If he don't really care about you, hey man, then he don't care about you for real. I think this is just like a cultural thing where guys don't really pay attention to small details like that. Like, that's usually what women tend to do. I think that's just how men are raised. You know, men, we care about the big stuff. The small details, we usually leave that to everybody else. Well, usually leave that to women. So yeah, but let's see what she has to say. See what the rest she has to say.
I feel like this is kind of on the rise. It's why I'm sure this article has gotten so much attention. Like, this topic of men being embarrassing is not out of the blue. Like, there is substance and evidence and many men to back it up, to be like, yeah, it kind of is a thing. For context, I was literally speaking to someone the other day about her partner who she's been with for many years. This is a partner that has a job, you know, she's the higher earner in the relationship. She drove him to work a couple times because he doesn't drive. He doesn't really cook or clean around the house. She cooks and cleans. He doesn't really do much in terms of family wise, like whenever there's a birthday or Christmas or anything, like she's the one getting everyone together. And my friend was kind of like, okay, so why are you still together? And she was just kind of like she couldn't give a reason. If we're being brutally honest, I feel like
now that is a toxic relationship, people. Man said she's a higher earner. She's doing all the cooking and cleaning. She's making up all the effort. That's crazy, bro. But yeah, that type of relationship, 100%, that should not be happening at all, bro. Like, so if she's making more than you, bro, mad thing. Yeah, because that's 25% of the population, people, where the woman is a higher earner in a relationship. Only 25%. Still significant, but the fact is, this guy that she's referring to, that's a mad thing still. I can't say that it's majority of men where if she's making more than you and he's not making any effort, that's kind of a mad thing still.
In the modern day, a lot of women have high expectations of men, and a lot of men don't really have high expectations of women. I think it makes perfect sense that in the modern day, a woman that's educated or has a good job, knows how to drive, invests her money, is smart, reads books, like has things going for her, it makes perfect sense that you'd ask for a partner that is on the same level as you. I think a lot of men on the internet like to have this like stereotype caricature of a woman that is aggressively average, but somehow, some way wants a 6-foot guy that earns 6 figures and is, you know, the top 1% guy. Or, you know, they throw, like, I see this statistic thrown around a lot on TikTok of like, oh, you know, 80% of women go for 20% of men. And it's just like, whenever I talk to my single friends about, you know, what like we look for or what we'd like in a relationship, it's never we're looking for a partner that is, you know, extremely well off or extremely successful or someone that we can go on yachts with. It's never like this stereotypical stuff. It's always like the bare minimum.
Yeah, 100%. This is how social media frames the way people think. Like, because social media, it only shows the extremes. That only the extremes are the ones that get all the attention. So it really does skew your mind. And this is why I be telling men like, yo, women aren't just thinking, oh, let me get the guy with a super yacht, or I want the guy who makes millions of dollars, 6'7" tall, charismatic, talks to every gal, can get any gal. Like, majority of girls are not thinking like this, bro. And yeah, majority of women are in the middle, where they want someone who is, you know what I'm saying, the bare minimum of society, attractive to her eyes, and yeah, you know, can look after her if things go bad type shit. That's what most girls are thinking like that. Not thinking, oh, I need a super yacht man. I need the man who makes all these millions of dollars. We can fly out every 2 weeks. True, girls are not like that.
I just like someone that opens doors, or someone that like has, you know, puts in effort, thinks about things, plans dates, remember small details about you, remember your favorite like books, genres, places to eat, recipes. And I'm saying it's the bare minimum, but like any woman that spent a few weeks on Hinge, like you'll know that it's not the bare minimum. This is rare. Like it doesn't come by very often.
Yeah, that's because that personality type is very rare, where somebody actually pays attention to all the small details about you. That is a small percentage of people. Remember, like, a person who goes out of their way to remember every single little detail about the people around them is a rare type of person, first of all. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to how men think and how men go about relationships, they aren't paying attention to the smallest details. You know what I'm saying? Not the smallest details. It's one of the things that's happened like the most recently. Like, for example, you go out with your boys, and when your boys got new creps, you're like, yo, Rev, I'm trying to be like you, cuz. And then you guys remember that one detail. That's something that's recent though. You know what I'm saying? Things that men can see, like, that's what men are usually paying attention to. But unless something keeps happening, or like let's say you guys are you're with your boy, or with one of your boys or multiple of your boys, right? And you notice one of your guys is not picking up their slack, they're not trying to hang out with you type shit, or whenever you guys are together, there's always a mad thing, you know what I'm saying? If it keeps happening, then men will start paying attention, you know what I'm saying? It's not to say that men aren't intelligent, it's just a thing where men are more willing to put up with bullshit for a longer period of time, trying to fix things, instead of cutting off straight away, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'd say.
Well, no, we can all agree being in a relationship is not a flex. Being in a healthy, committed, mutually efforted, equal relationship is a flex.
100.
That is rare. It feels a little bit embarrassing in the modern day, I'm not gonna lie, to like admit I want a boyfriend, or it feels embarrassing to admit I want a girlfriend. And oftentimes when I'm talking to my friends about this, a lot of my friends aren't even single anymore. I feel like I'm one of the only few single friends. Yeah, I am. Wait, hold on, do I have a friend that's single now? When I do have conversations with friends that are single and we're like talking about this, I'm always so grateful that I can be honest and say like, yeah, I set myself the goal in 2025 to get a boyfriend, and look, here I am. We're nearly in December and I'm still single. Like, it's quite freeing to know that I can be honest about the fact that I'm deeply human.
Yeah, this is where men and women differ, I'd say. Setting a goal to go and get a woman, I don't think men really think about it like that, I'll be honest. Like, more time than not, a man thinks about his finances first, and then a woman just happens to come by, you know what I'm saying? Where, well, at least for me, I can say this for sure. Like, I ain't thinking about relationships right now because I got too much to juggle right now. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the current climate in terms of bills and finances and the economy in the UK especially, because that's where I live. Yeah, having a woman right now doesn't really make sense. And that's just how it is. I have other things I need to worry about right now in terms of, but that's just how I think. Because if I'm gonna get into a relationship, all I'm thinking about is marriage type shit, like settling down with a woman. That's all I'm thinking about. Like, there's no point getting into a relationship just to be boyfriend and girlfriend and that's it. Like, nah, I'm thinking about future plans type shit. So, and I feel like that's what a lot of men think about. They think about a lot of the future, but obviously there's player boys, you know what I'm saying? Fuck boys, if you will. Not gonna act like I haven't been through that phase as well, where all I want to do is fuck everything that moves, bruv. You know what I'm saying? But that's changed for me. That kind of changed for the last 2 years, where I'm just like, women. Nah, not even the last 2 years. It's been like over the last like year or so. It's like a thing where I just want to worry about finances right now. Like, family wise, look, let's just get things in place first and then have a family. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just how I am. But I know men are pretty much thinking like me, where they want to get themselves ready first, and then once they know the finances are good, then family can come right after. You know what I'm saying?
Would like companionship in my life. I know there's this rhetoric online that women are too independent now, too feminist, too hyper independent. I don't think that was out of choice, I'll be honest. I think a lot of women feel like that's just the only option that they had left. My mum's a single mum and she's literally Wonder Woman. And she often tells me, like, when she just became a single mum, like,
a lot of single mums are, bruv. A lot of single mums are super women. Shout out to the single mums, bruv. Shout out to the single mums, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
freshly divorced, she had to just there was no option to, like, I don't know, like, she was literally divorced. Like, she had to raise me by herself. And even if you're not a single mum, say you're someone that can't really depend on your family, or you don't have many friends, you don't have a partner, as a woman, you just feel like you have to crack on with things. And don't get me wrong, you can be a guy and be in the same boat as well. Maybe your family have neglected you, or maybe you're a single dad, or maybe you don't have anyone to depend on. But it seems like we're seeing it more in women now.
That seems to be a thing for a lot of men. The single man epidemic, the no friends type of man epidemic is becoming a real issue in our society. But that's because of, as we know, social media, mobile phones, technology. As it's been getting better and better, men and women are having to go out less and less. Having to, the way they maintain relationships is becoming a lot different in terms of hanging out with each other. It's becoming less of a thing, especially in Gen Z, mainly in Gen Z. So that's why those epidemics are even becoming things in the first place.
Days. And this is where the unscriptedness of the video, I feel like, is really showing, because I wish I had, like, statistics to back up my point, but hopefully you guys can see what I mean. I think the hyper independence of women nowadays is, like, hyper visible online. Like we really see women being independent, whereas independent and man in the same sentence feels a bit unusual. Like, we don't really say that about men, that they're independent.
Well, that's because how society's always run. Men have always had to be the independent one to look after their family, you know what I'm saying? So obviously, as things have changed, women are able to become their own breadwinner, and that's why it's becoming such a big deal that more women are becoming independent. It's just normal. It was bound to happen, you know? And obviously it's more of a big deal when a woman does it, because historically it's never been a thing until nowadays.
Maybe it's because they're just expected to be independent. Like, that is what a man does, quote unquote. But then I also feel like there's, like, this subculture, like, amongst women, where you feel like you almost have to help everyone else. Like, if a woman seemed like she was struggling, if a man seemed like he was struggling, you would just naturally, you know, get up and help. Versus, as a woman, if you're struggling...
I don't know about that one, darling. I'm not going to lie to you. About that one. Because there was a video that came out a couple years ago where it was like they put a homeless man, a man who was, like, knocked out on the floor. It was like a social experiment, and he didn't get helped for hours, right? But the woman, she got helped in 2 minutes. So it's a thing where if a man's struggling, nobody's there to help unless he has friends. If a woman's struggling, societally, people will come to help and give her aid. It's just how it's always been, and it's how it's always going to be. Truly. A lot of the time your natural inclination is just to suffer in silence. Like, don't complain, don't explain, like, just crack on. Maybe as a guy you feel the same, but I'm just speaking from a woman's perspective. I feel like the reason why so many of us are this hyper independent woman now is because, like, you just feel like you can't ask for help, or it's weird to ask for help. Whereas I think something good that men do is they are, like, unapologetic about asking for help, or asking for things, asking for a referral, asking to sell something. No, that's not true. I mean, asking to sell something, asking for help to sell something, I don't know about that one, you know? Because when it comes, I mean, yeah, I guess there is some truth to that. Like, when it comes to men who have tight bonds with their boys, more than likely, men are going to want to make a business with their friends. In terms of women, I don't know. We don't really see it as often where a woman has a business run with her and her friends. You usually see those men. So I guess that just shows there's a cultural differences between men and women. If you couldn't tell right now, I'm a bit sick. I'm not gonna lie to you boys. So bear with me, innit? But yeah, that's why I'd say when it comes to men and women and how they differ in terms of business, selling, etc.
Men will just ask. Men will just do. Whereas I feel like women, we're such like, let me ask permission. Let me just double check. Let me check I'm qualified. Maybe you've been seeing this article go viral. Maybe you agree with it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think men are embarrassing. Maybe you don't. Either way, I think the extent of the virality of this post just shows how big of a conversation it is that women expect more from men. What I find interesting is that women nowadays, let's be for real, women expect more from men, whereas men don't expect more from women, which I find so interesting. I feel like there's a huge expectation gap between like men, like women are looking for this, whereas men will kind of like, they'll settle for that.
I mean, I could say this for sure. Men and women look for different things. They expect different things. Men, particularly, they're thinking, okay, is my girlfriend a hoe? They worry about that, right? Whereas women, they don't really care if you're a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Just don't cheat on them. That's the difference. A guy isn't really thinking, well, depending on what type of guy you are, I don't really think about this, but some guys, a lot of guys worry about a girl cheating on them, right? Girls think the same thing, but overwhelmingly, girls worry about it a lot more. A lot more, man. Actually, no. That's a lie. I say both genders definitely worry about cheating. About their partner cheating a lot. So yeah, it's a weird one still. But in terms of expectations, men just expect different things. Women expect different things to one another. So I wouldn't say there's a gap. I'd say there's just a difference of expectations.
The idea of settling amongst women, like I know if I brought up the idea of settling, if I mentioned to all my friends, guys, I'm thinking of settling, like let me just settle for a guy, they would all immediately be like, Christina, what the hell are you doing? Like, stand up, don't do that. Who do you think you are? They would slap me across the face. If I was a guy, would that happen though? If I said, oh, I'm just going to settle for this girl, I'm just going to go for this girl, she's not what I would want, she's less than what I would be looking for, but I'm just
100%, it happens with guys, at least especially in my friend group. Like, when the guys see like a nigga, one of our boys is going for like a girl that's ugly, bro, like or meaty, you know what I'm saying? The boys are on your ass, bro. Tell you. Or if she's a girl that's hoish, has hoish activities, hoish tendencies. If she has hoe tendencies, then yeah, the guys are on you, bro. So when a guy says he'll settle for a girl, yeah, depends what you're talking about. Depends on the type of girl it is. Like, yeah. When a guy says he's settling down, he just means he's just not on this thing where he's going for everything he goes past. He's not going out clubbing, he's not going out looking for girls anymore. Whereas girls, when they say settling, it's them lowering their standards. It's just a different way we use the word settling.
Like, what would the response be? I literally don't know. Men can't fathom the fact that women will be single by choice because men aren't single by choice.
Men can't believe that women are single by choice because men aren't single by choice.
Well, honestly, this one is a bit of a weird one because I could say for sure, men definitely are not single by choice. Most men are not single by choice. For me personally, I am single by choice because I know for a fact right now, it's a long thing, bro. I can't lie, dealing with a relationship. It's a lot of time you got to put in, energy, effort you got to put into a relationship, which is the norm. And because of the way I think about the future and how I want my next relationship to progress, it doesn't make sense for me to be in one right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's not to say that there aren't women who could fit into that. I'm just not looking for it right now. But for women, it's obviously a thing where women are single by choice because they obviously have the pick of the litter. They have the pick of the litter. I can't believe I just said that, but it's true. And that's not to say that there aren't a lot of women who aren't single by choice. You know what I'm saying? Some women can't get good men or men that they would deem desirable. One, because their standards are too high. Two, because men aren't looking for them. And when I say men aren't looking for them, I mean a lot of men are in the same type of thinking that I am in, where it's like right now it doesn't make sense. So That's just how it is. For real, for real.
Ever even considered that? Like, I think of my single friends, most of them are single by choice. It's not like they're gagging to be in a relationship. They're not desperate to be with someone. Like, they're single by, they're fed up. Like, they are single by choice. They're fed up. They're not interested. They've got other things going on. They're busy. They would prefer to be single. Like, I think it makes sense that if this is true, men aren't single by choice. I think it makes sense because there's statistics to show that a married man will live longer than a single man. However, single women live longer than married women. So there's something to be said.
I want to look at that, see if that's true, by the way. So I asked ChatGPT, are married men statistically proven to live longer than single ones? And yes, statistically, married men tend to live longer than their single counterparts, according to multiple studies in epidemiology and public health. But there are some important nuances. Let me break it down carefully. There's statistical evidence, yada, yada, yada. The summary says, bottom line, married men statistically tend to live longer than single men, largely due to social, behavioral, and economic advantages, but the effect varies depending on marriage quality and individual circumstances. So let's say you're in a toxic marriage, then obviously you're not going to live longer than a never married man. But statistically, that is true. So then I asked for women. Marriage also affects women's longevity, but the pattern is a bit different than for men. Marriage is beneficial for women's longevity, but the effect is smaller than for men. Never married women are genuinely healthier than never married men. So the relative boost from marriage is less dramatic. Okay? But it only compared never married women to widowed or married women who are divorced. That's what it compared it to. So then I asked it, so never married women live longer than married women? Not exactly. It's more nuanced. So the key takeaway was, marriage is beneficial for women's longevity, but the effect is smaller than for men. Some studies find never married women live almost as long or slightly longer than married women. Slightly. But this depends on the population and confounding factors like health, socioeconomic status, and lifestyle. Right. So pretty much what she said had some truth to it, but the effect isn't completely flipped. Like it is, like married men benefit just as much as non-married women. It's not the same thing, and there's always nuance to it. So just wanted to find that out.
About that, if you're a married man, you have a lot to gain. There's a lot for you to gain in a partnership with a woman in the very early stages, even from a dating app, or even maybe if you're on if you're speed dating and you're going on dates with people, you're very quickly thinking, can you add value to my life? Like that is what you're thinking as a woman. Whereas as a guy, I wonder whether that's the case. Do you think, can this woman add value to my life? Or is it a case where simply a woman existing in your life adds value? Because sometimes I think about how as a guy, you know, obtaining a woman and getting a girlfriend almost like adds to your status. Whereas as a woman, having a boyfriend, it doesn't really add to your status like that.
Well, it depends on the type of woman that you got in your life. Once again, if it's a woman who isn't very good for you, then she doesn't really add to your status, mate. Now, obviously, culturally, in places like, say, Japan, it makes sense for you to be married because that actually adds to your status. But let's say, for example, multiple billionaires or millionaires who aren't married, it doesn't actually do anything to their status. And when they do get married, it doesn't really do anything to their status. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just a thing that they did, you know what I'm saying? And it's nice to see it. And I think that's the same on both sides. You know, if a woman gets married, it's all good for her. If a man gets married, it's good for him. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a thing where it adds to your status. Not in Western society, at least. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments down below.
If you're a guy that is able to obtain a girlfriend, it's almost, I think, from other men see you as like, oh, he can get this girl. Especially if this is an attractive woman or like a desirable woman, it's like it adds to his status. Whereas as a woman, say you have a boyfriend, it's not a magical mythical creature. Like, and the article literally talks about the fact that some people just won't post their boyfriend because it's not a flex. It's not a flex anymore. I think because as a woman, it is easier to get into a relationship. If women lowered their standards tomorrow, every single girl could get into a relationship if she wanted to. Emphasis on the lower your standards.
I mean, generally speaking, possibly. But that's if all the women were attractive. You know what I'm saying? Because not majority of women aren't all attractive. A lot of them are. But not all of them are attractive. So that would be based on, that hypothetical only works if all the women had a certain baseline of attractiveness. You feel me?
However, say tomorrow every single guy on the planet wanted to get into a relationship, I think a lot of them would struggle. I think the reason as to
I think both would struggle, just because of how society is right now, especially for people of Gen Z. Finding people to get into a relationship that you fuck with, you know what I'm saying? The only ways to do it is through dating apps. So, and we all know how long it takes for people to find relationships in dating apps. So I think both genders will struggle 100% because they're struggling now. So, and those are the people that are actually actively looking for relationships. Both are struggling.
Back to like value. Like, again, if every woman tomorrow wanted to be in a relationship, the deadline was tomorrow, get a boyfriend. I just realized how heteronormative this is. I do apologize. This is so heteronormative of a video, but say tomorrow every single girl wanted to get a boyfriend, you would have to lower your standards because it's almost
True.
like, I feel like the average woman is just looking
Yeah,
for
I'm not
more
going to act like it's not going to be easier for a woman to find a partner, because it always is going to be, because women are usually the ones that have the choice, right, to choose who they want. Men also have the choice to choose who they want too. It's just the ones that they want is harder for them to get. Same for women, right? But let's say a woman wanted to get married to just married in general, not to a person who's not really meeting her standards. She could just marry the 40-year-old man who hasn't had sex in 40 years, rev. You feel me? She could just find that guy, done. But for a man to find a woman, he can't do the same thing for a 40-year-old woman. He can't do that. You feel what I'm saying?
nowadays, and I truly, hand on heart, don't think that
So
we're
fair
being
enough.
unrealistic in what we're expecting. I think sure, social media can make you think that women are expecting these millionaires who have a yacht in their backyard to just walk into their life and take them off of their feet, but most women aren't expecting that. Most women are just looking for someone that's got a decent job, doesn't gamble and doesn't vape, whereas the average guy
I guess I'm the exception.
is a
But yeah, she's right. Most women aren't looking for Mr. fucking Jeff Bezos who's 6'7", bruv. They're just not. They dream about it, but most women are realistic in terms of their standards. It's just a lot of men aren't meeting those standards. Just how it is, man. It's just how it is. Most men think they don't meet the women's standards, so they don't end up going after them at all. And that's what's a big problem as well.
lot more relaxed about what he's looking for. And part of me questions, is the reason why they're relaxed about what they're looking for simply because, well, a woman in your life is inherently valuable? Like simply having a woman next to you, a woman on your arm, a woman in your life, a woman to show to your friends, a woman to meet your family.
Once again, a specific type of woman is valuable to a man and his relationships that he has within his life. If she's ugly, doesn't meet the cultural baseline that their family has, that woman will not be valuable, bruv. How many times have we seen Nigerian households or Jamaican households where they bring back a white girl? Flames, bro. World burns, bruv. I'm telling you. Not inherent, not absolutely, but majority of the time, I guess you can say that it's true.
Woman, just period. A woman, full stop, is valuable. Whereas when you're a girl, just having a boy isn't, like, that's not enough. That's not enough. I asked you guys what your thoughts are.
Yeah, but I think she's being very hypocritical, because it's the same on both sides. If a man brings back some dirtbag, a crackhead as a girlfriend, bruv, fucking hell, all hell will break loose. And the same thing will happen for a woman. If a woman brings back some dirtbag, crackhead as her boyfriend, bruv, all hell will break loose. So yeah, it's just how it is. It's the same for both sides, man.
Was as well. Kiara said, would love to hear your thoughts on this. Having a low effort boyfriend is embarrassing, but one who actually plans dates and can communicate isn't embarrassing. And I was like, totally agree.
Okay.
Gave that a heart. Then I see a reply from a no-name account with like no profile picture. Can't help you out. Are we back to mind reading? If you feel low effort, write it out without feedback how it gets better. Kiara comes back with, I've been in plenty situations recently where it's always me planning phone calls, dates. I should have said both parties should put in equal effort. How many times have we seen this? I see this weaponized a lot by men, like, oh, well, if you want something, tell me. If you want me to plan dates, tell me. If you want this, tell me. I'm not a mind reader. You know, women expect this. And I'm just like, do you know what? I feel like if you want to make a woman endlessly happy in a relationship, all you have to do is show in your actions that you are thinking about her. You could send her a text on your way back from work, oh, thinking about you, or this, you know, this flower made me think about you. Or you could get, like, if you were away on holiday with family or something, you could get her a cuddly toy, literally that cost like $2, but oh, this made me think of you. Or you could, you could make a recipe when she comes back from work. Oh, like, you know, I know your favorite thing is like spaghetti bolognese, made this for you. Just, you know, I just wanted to do something for you. Going back to expectations, I think a big reason why more and more of Gen Z is single, more and more millennials are single, is this expectation gap. Women are expecting more of men, like I was saying earlier, because women are more educated now or have stable careers now. They can manage their own finances now. Like, literally, a man isn't needed. However, I don't think men are expecting loads of women, and this
not in this country. Yeah, if she was referring to people in Gen Z and millennials, right? So majority of Gen Z and millennials are not financially stable. They both need each other. Men and women both need each other in order to survive the current climate that we both live in, right? In order to make it work, you both need to be making 50k. One person making 50k can't run a family by themselves, because guess what? That family will not be living comfortably. They'll be scraping together every penny they can. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is on both sides, because that's why you both need each other, right? In terms of why Gen Z and millennials are struggling to date, it's for simple reasons like this. Financially, it's very difficult to find a person who's on the same level as you, who can both help look after a family. It's just how it is.
It was interesting because I came across a guy talking about the fact that men don't need to center women in their lives. Men center themselves.
Why are men in general not working to decenter women in the same way that women are working to decenter men?
It's actually interesting, but the answer is pretty simple. It's because we don't need to. Most of us have never actually centered women in the first place. Even the men, like, who do nothing but chase women, who are bums except for living, dying and breathing for women. They've never centered women a day in their life. They are centering themselves, their lust, their ego, their love of the chase, and the reward of getting the girl. The ego boost and the pride of being a guy who gets girls. But woman isn't centered. She's either the test on one side or the trophy on the other side. And it's a fact. A lot of men believe if they become a man of value, they'll get the girl they want. So in that sense, the woman becomes the proof of value. She's not the purpose or the goal. She's simply the proof. The girl is a confirmation that you are a real man.
I honestly find this so...
I mean, yeah, that is definitely the mentality of a lot of men. And that's why they don't get any girls, bro. Because how many times have we seen men who get loads of finances or very financially well off end up getting divorced? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because they don't know how to treat a woman, because they think, oh, I need the external things. I need to be able to show that I can buy her expensive gifts. And once they go out and do that, money doesn't unlame me, my guy. I'm telling you. It don't unlame me, my friend. So chasing money in order to get the type of girl that you want, wrong way to do it, bruv. You should be chasing money just because you want to chase money. If you, like, during that whole time period, if you chasing money, you should be able to still get girls, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say all you do is focus on money, but you never really cater to being more charismatic, learning how to talk to people, being more of a person people want to be around. Well, guess what? When you get all this money, you're a dick. You just become a dick. Because it's like, oh, all you care about is this. You don't care about people. So when it comes to chasing money, be careful of how you do it. You can do things multiple different ways. Depending on how you do it, you will see different results. That's just how the world works.
interesting that as a guy, you don't really need to make women the center of your universe, because it's almost like women are a proxy to you to become more valuable. There's a huge gap of like why men and women seek partners on the whole. Like women seek partners for companionship, emotional companionship, emotional connection. Whereas I don't think guys, it's the same reason. I'm sure there's a bunch of guys that do, and I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comments, but a lot of guys do seek female partnerships and relationships, I think, for more status and to like be seen a certain way, especially if you go on like the male self-improvement corner of the internet. I almost see so much content talking about how to get a girlfriend but not how to keep a girlfriend. So there's so much content out there about like pickup culture and
Well, that's fair. When in terms of how social media has been run right for a while now, it is get a woman, don't worry about how you keep her. Because usually the way that you get the girl that you want, for example, is you just have to maintain what the hell you were doing before. You know what I'm saying? So that type of content doesn't really need to be out there, because it almost makes it seem like, oh, how you got the girl and how you keep the girl is going to be different, when realistically it's the same thing. If how you got the girl in the first place is exactly how you keep the girl, bro. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, for example, you were a guy who showed that you were caring in the beginning of your relationship, or you had you showed good family oriented values, then you just showed that throughout your whole relationship. You know, you came in as you was, and you don't change. You know what I'm saying? You don't change your character. The character you was when you started is the exact same character you were when you ended. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really change as a person. And when I say change as a person, I'm not saying you can't improve. What I am saying is the type of person you was. You're the same through in and out. Same way in and out. That's why that content ain't out there. But in terms of how men see women, I could say that men see women as at first, like when a man finds a girl that he likes and she's beautiful, that's the main thing that men look for at the start. Is she beautiful? And then as things go on, he learns to appreciate the type of girl that he's got, right? Because she does more and more things that makes him go like, oh, raw, this girl's dope, bruv. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'd say how men are. It starts off with just a beauty thing, and then as you get to know each other, then a man starts to realize, oh wow, this girl's actually dope, bro. I should keep this girl around, type shit. And I believe that's how women think as well, right? It's just a man has to show so much at the start, whereas a woman standards are kind of low at the start. But as things progress, then the standards start to become raised, bro.
Old approach and use this pickup
For a man.
line. But I don't see a lot of content on the male side of things where it's like how to have a healthy relationship, how to like emotionally open up, how to have emotional intelligence. It's all like get the girlfriend, win the girl, win her over. And to me, that just shows a vivid difference in why both men and women seek relationships. I want to reiterate, I can't remember if I already said this, but like I don't agree with this gender war of men v women. I think the reason why this article has gone crazy viral is because it honestly hits the spot for so many women that feel frustrated with dating. And I think in 2-3 months time, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an article that comes up on the male side about women and, you know, how women, I don't know, women think they're too good for men. I mean, I see men on the internet, male content creators, they love to throw around this article that came out a while ago, how 45% of women are going to be single by 2030. And, you know, all the podcasters love to throw around the statistic that single women are the most unhappy category compared to married women and married women with kids. Single women are on the bottom when it comes to happiness. And I think the war zone that we see in some comment sections nowadays.
And the thing is about this one, I imagine it's probably the same for both genders, to be honest. But marriage doesn't define whether or not you're going to be happy or not. Like, it's whether or not you were happy to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Are you happy with yourself? Are you happy in your own skin? Are you confident in your own skin? And if you weren't when you went into a relationship, then obviously it's not going to be a thing where, oh yeah, the be all end all, you're going to be happier. You know what I'm saying? That statistic, I imagine it's most likely the same on both genders, I'll be honest.
And the huge disparity in what men think is normal and what women think is normal just shows the divide in what our expectations are of each other. And it almost leads to this greater problem where both sides that are dissatisfied, the women that think that men are embarrassing and the men that think women have too high standards, they both kind of ignore the fact that there are millions and millions of potential suitors that exist in the middle. Like, the reason why I'm not like a bitter woman that's angry and fed up with dating, like I'm just completely okay with being single, I know my time will come, like I'm not in a rush, like it's not that deep, is because I know that like if I exist, they also exist.
100.
Like if I am here existing, living, breathing, there will also be a potential suitor, if not many living and breathing as well. However, I think what these articles and viral content does really well is it makes you think that the extremes of the 10% that hate men, or the extremes of the 10% of men that hate women, like that is all men or that is all women, but really it's not. I'd go as far as to say most women probably
she's right. And that's why Red Pill did so well, because they came in with a thing about, oh, self-improvement this, self-improvement that, and they came into a thing where it turned into a thing where it's hate women. It's always hate women, fuck women, like, you know. But, and what that did is it tainted the way men think, well, at least a lot of men, the way a lot of men think that women are all the problem. Because these Red Pill spaces would bring on a certain type of woman to help them confirm the bias that they had towards women, which is a human thing. Confirmation bias. Everybody does it. Even I do it. You know, nobody is above it. Everybody does it. That's why you gotta be able to check it out. You gotta be able to fact check yourself, you know? But yeah, that's just how the Red Pill space was able to just boom, because the extreme was just so interesting. So, oh man, I knew it, you know? And Red Pill came in at the perfect timing where we had an epidemic of men who were lonely, alone, weren't able to get women, etc. The list goes on. So they came in at the perfect time and they capitalized. But as more men have started to realize, oh wait, this shit is bullshit, and started actually going outside and realizing women aren't actually all like the bias that the Red Pill space would give out, Red Pill fell off a fucking cliff. Finally.
Article and were like, is having a boyfriend embarrassing? No. Are men embarrassing? Some of them. Do I still want a boyfriend? Do I still want a man in my life? Yes. Most women are in the camp of like, sure, men slip up and embarrass the rest of the male population, but I'm gonna have hope to find a good one, and I'm going to carry on being single until that happens. One of my all-time favorite books is How to Not Die Alone by Logan Uring. In my video, Meeting the Right Person is a Myth, I was talking about the maximizer mindset, where say you're the person that needs to find a new air fryer, and you go online, you look at all the discounts, all the websites, you scroll to page 12 to look at all the results, you want to see everything, versus the Satisficer finds an air fryer in their price range, it can come next day and they just buy it. Like, we can complain about men are this, women are this, men are embarrassing, women are expecting too much. You don't change your dating by finding a magical unicorn partner that dismantles all the beliefs you have about the opposite sex. I think you change your dating experience by shifting more towards a Satisficer mindset. That is such a mouthful. Satisficer mindset. Like, because as much as you can complain, and you know, I've been there with my friends before where we complain about men and we say like, gosh, there's no effort anymore, or like we'll say things like, oh, you know, I was planning the date and I was booking the table and I was asking where we were meeting and I was checking what time and I was checking, like, I know I have been there where I'm complaining before, but I think having the approach where you're expecting a magical partner to rock up on the apps or in real life is not really the approach. I think a better approach is to realize that when I meet a partner that ticks the essential boxes, 70% of my boxes, the important boxes, I have to be satisfied with that. Looking at someone that's 70% and trying to...
that's how men are. 100%. Like, men think about the 70%. They're like, okay, is she cool to be around? Bet. Is she beautiful? Bet. Does she annoy me? No? Bet. You know what I'm saying? Is she a loving person? Does she clearly care about people? Oh, is she caring? Oh my God, yes. You know what I'm saying? So, can she cook and clean? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and anything else around that is just a bonus to men, to most men. And yeah, that's how men have been for millennia, bruv. So, it's just now women are realizing how men think. More women are realizing how men think. in terms of what they value in a woman. And that's been lost in social media. Social media has made it seem like, oh, look, I'm a boss ass bitch. Oh, let me get this BBL type shit. Oh my God, I can get any man I want. Oh my God, I can fly out whenever I want. Look, he bought me this, that, and the third. When realistically, no man gives a fuck about that shit, bruv. No man does. If you're able to do it, great. But man don't care about that.
90% is literally what makes you just miserable. And one thing I will say is this is hard as a woman, because it's almost like we can take a hard look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, I'm not asking for too much though. But Christina, I'm literally not asking for too much. And I know you're probably not. Like, I know you're probably just asking for a guy that has a decent job, drives, doesn't have a room, the state of an absolute dumpster, doesn't play video games till 3 a.m. every day, doesn't do drugs or gamble. Like, I know you're probably asking for the bare minimum.
Hey, what the fuck's wrong with video games, huh? What's wrong with video games, huh? Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. That video game one, that's going to be a hard one for you to find a man who doesn't like video games. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, because majority of men do, bruv. Because it's an escape from reality, escape from you even. I'm kidding, but realistically, no, I'm not kidding. Yeah, that one. Everything else makes sense, and that's majority of men. The video game one though, why do you think? And even there was even a survey where it was like, women don't see video games as a problem anymore. Like, it's not unattractive anymore because they understand most men do it because they have their reasons to. It's a way for men to connect with their friends in the day and age that we live in nowadays, you know? It's just how we do it. So I would say most women don't actually care if you play video games anymore. That's a myth now.
I have a theory. I was talking to my friend about this. I feel like a lot of good men, healthy, emotionally intelligent men...
Well, you know, let me clarify. If you being on video games tarnishes your relationship in terms of how you guys interact with each other, if it makes it to where you never actually try to spend time with her anymore, then yeah, it's going to become an issue, right? But that's with anything, any hobby. It doesn't have to just be gaming. It's anything, right? If you let one hobby make it to where, cool, we can't spend time together now. All I want to do is spend time at this hobby instead of spending some time with you in this hobby, then cool. That's going to be a problem. But that's why we're seeing more and more women, I'd say, getting into gaming, because they're realizing, oh, this is where all the men are. It's a fucking gold mine out here.
In support of women, men in support of women are actually in relationships. I need to reread the book Attached, but the book Attached is all about attachment styles. And in the book, he was saying how a lot of the men on dating apps are avoidantly attached. They're the type that will go on one date with you, probably ghost you afterwards. Even if things are going well, they'll kind of be a bit overwhelmed by how good things are going, and they'll self-sabotage and just like ghost. Or they'll be the type that want to be pen pals for like 10 weeks. They want to talk, but not actually meet up. Versus in the book, he was talking about a lot of people that are secure, both men and women, are often in relationships, because the moment they hit a roadblock or have like a hiccup, an argument, they're not just gonna like break up. Like, they will actually work through things. They're willing to actually go through struggle. They're willing to handle uncomfortable emotions. They don't self-sabotage. They're not afraid of having their feelings hurt. Women, I feel like our culture, especially on social media,
fair enough. That one is an interesting one. I've never heard that stat before, or that point, that most men who are secure or emotionally available or this, that, and the third are already in relationships. I can see why that would be true. 100%. Because the good men know what a good woman looks like, and they go for those, and they don't just be bashing women. They treat women like actual human beings, and the men that don't stay single, bruv. So yeah, not gonna lie, this was a good video. Christina Ali, I've seen her around before. Yeah, definitely show some love to her, man. She's one of the women that actually aren't just trying to bash men or bash women, and they aren't just telling women to be a certain type of way or have some ridiculous viewpoints, extreme viewpoints. So yeah, I'd definitely say check her out if you guys are interested. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments down below of this video. Do you think the things that I've said are out of pocket, or do you think they were valid? So let me know in the comments down below, man. But until next time, love.